thing that attacks your belief systems. The reasons we have trouble with change, the reason we get concerned about change is it attacks what we believe in it at the current time. Okay? So you've got a business. So what are some of the changes that you're experiencing in your business right now? And do they have an impact on what you're feeling about your business? Okay? How many people here have run into brick walls in the last 6 months? Yeah? Alright, do you know what brick walls are there for? They're just to see how bad you want it. Okay? That's all they're there for. Just put there, because let me tell you, if everything was easy, everyone would be doing it, wouldn't they? If everything was that easy, we'd all put our hand up and say, you know what, I'll have a crack. Alright, I get a chocolate at the end of that, so it's good. Okay? So change is something that you need to embrace. Have you ever sat down when a change has occurred in your life and you turn around and say, that was just crap? There's another word, but I'm not allowed to use it. Okay? It's just crap. When someone says, oh, I think this or this, you say, no, that's crap. Alright, do you know what crap stands for? Crap stands for can't really appreciate your perspective. Okay? You can't appreciate their perspective because you're not there yet. It's attacking your belief systems. So when you look at change and you think, well, yeah, this is good, okay, well, obviously it aligns with your belief systems. But when you find yourself facing change and it's not so good, maybe a little tool for you, maybe one thing to write down is that next time I'm faced with change and I don't like it, let's step back for 1 second and see what it is that I don't like about it. Because maybe it's not that I don't actually like it. Maybe I'm just a little bit scared. Or maybe I don't actually have the skills to achieve doing that task at the moment. Okay? Because sometimes change brings about inadequacies in your own ability. So we have to learn what we can and what we can't do. Alright? And we identify what we can't do, find the skills, go and learn how to do it, and then we go and do that. And everything's good. Okay? So think about when you've had change and the sorts of things that you've done with that change. This is a formula for change. It's broken down this simply. All that change is an event plus a response, and it equals your outcome. Okay. I'd like to just share a story with you about how, when I was young, how my response changed my outcome. Okay, because in this equation, the only thing, the one and only thing that we have any control over is our response. That's all we can do. Nothing more. So we didn't live on the Gold Coast to start with, but we were up here on holidays and we went to SeaWorld. This is when I was about 12. Okay, and I had grown up with a fear of heights and an even greater fear of fun park rides. Okay, in my head, I didn't see where the fun fitted into that equation. Alright? Now, my sister, who was older than me, but she's a bit of a closet daredevil, said she wanted to go on the roller coaster. Now, Mum and Dad had a long discussion and they decided, yes, this was okay. Now, I'm thinking, I'm the man in the family. I have to say that I'll go. So I said, you know what? If Mum goes, I'll go. Now, I knew, because Mum had used all the excuses before, that she was never going to go on the roller coaster. Never. Okay, so my sister nagged and Mum and Dad talked about it, and you know what? They actually said, yes, she can go on this ridiculous ride. And I'm thinking, I'm safe. Mum will never go on the roller coaster. I've heard all her excuses. It'll never happen. So, I'm sitting there thinking, this is good. So Mum and Dad start the conversation about who's going to go on the ride with my sister. Now, I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm still thinking I'm fine. Dad will never let Mum go on this. I don't know whether you've seen it, whether you were there when it first happened or you've seen it in the past, but do you remember a little man named Neil Armstrong? Remember he did something that no other man's done before? That's what happened to me. Mum took her first giant step for mankind. And she went on the roller coaster. So, here was I. I had to stand up and be the man that I, wanted to be. I wanted to be like Dad. He had no fear. And I'd given my word. If Mum was going, I was going. So, what happened was that I used an excuse. I looked for opportunity in someone else's cause, which I knew she was never going to go on, apparently. And I said, you know what? I will do this thing. And against my good judgment, I went against the response, the only thing I had control over, that would have given me my outcome that I desired, to not go on the roller coaster. But because I took the easy option, and this is what we do too often in our life, we come up against a change, we look at something, and then we're left in this lingering moment where we've got to make a decision. Do I go down this road, or do I go down this road? And when we look at those roads, quite often what we look at is, which one's the easiest? What's the easiest road for me? And when I look down that road, I think, well, this one's a bit easier. You know what? There's a whole lot less responsibility down this road, which is good. Because if there's no responsibility, I won't get the blame for anything. So I head down the road. The outcomes are similar, but they're less. The outcome is not quite as good if I took the road with more responsibility. So when you look at that scenario, maybe you need to have a look down your roads that you're travelling. And maybe you need to step back from the roller coaster and say, you know what? Today I'm not going to take that ride. Today I'm going to take responsibility for what I do, and I'm going to move down the road that I want to go down. Just because people might think less of you or think that it's not a better option because they're scared of what's down that road, doesn't mean that you shouldn't travel down it. So you've got a lot of challenges in your business at the moment. And there's always going to be an easy road and there's going to be a hard road. Guess what the easy road is? The easy road is the blame road. You know what? There's a recession going on. No one's going to buy anything, are they, in a recession? They've got no money. Well, what's the one thing that women buy in a recession? They still want to look good, don't they? Okay, how old is this company? 128 years old? Is that right? Have I got that right? There enough, it's not that close enough. So what's happened in the last 128 years? 2 world wars, a recession, we've had the stock market crash several times. They've gone through so many downtimes, but they're still here. Why? Because they stood up and took responsibility. They went down the hard road. They said, you know what, just because it's hard time doesn't mean women don't have to look, without makeup. Lovely without makeup. Okay? Or as we commonly call it, war paint. Okay, we know what you're up to. Okay, so I want you to think about that. So what's your roller coaster? Where have you stopped and not taken responsibility? Because that's what the word means. Responsibility means response-able. That's why we're different to every other animal on the planet, because we are able to respond. We can make a choice in what we do.